St. Paul and the Broken Bones is a 7-piece soul band based out of Birmingham, Alabama. The band is composed of Paul Janeway, Browan Lollar, Jesse Phillips, Andrew Lee, Al Gamble, Ben Griner, and Allen Branstetter. St. Paul and the Broken Bones formed in 2012. History: vocalist Paul Janeway and bassist Jesse Phillips met in the mid-2000s while playing with another musical project. In 2012, Jesse and Paul met back in All Elegante Studios in Birmingham, Alabama to start a new project. Janeway says of the project with Phillips, "It was going to be our last hurrah before focusing on other careers, but then something just clicked and we walked out of there with something." As the two began working around Janeway's voice, they realized they were forming a soul outfit. As the project progressed, the pair brought in Browan Lollar, formerly of the 400 unit, Andrew Lee, Ben Griner, and Allen Branstetter. Here, they recorded their first EP, Greetings from St. Paul and the Broken Bones, before ever playing a live show. After releasing Greetings from St. Paul and the Broken Bones, the band gained attention from managers and labels alike. In January 2013, they began recording their first full-length album, Half the City, at the Nut House Recording Studios, Sheffield, Alabama, and Fame Studios in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. While recording the album, the band brought in Al Gamble to play keys. Gamble continued to play with St. Paul and the Broken Bones and has been a full-time member since January 2014. Half the City was produced by Ben Tanner of the Alabama Shakes. In February 2013, St. Paul and the Broken Bones gained the attention of Tracy Thomas of 30 Tigers, who signed on as their manager. Shortly thereafter, they began weekend touring on their Greetings from St. Paul and the Broken Bones EP, waiting for the horn players to graduate college before embarking on more extensive touring. On February 18, 2014, the LP was released under Single Lock Records, a Florence, Alabama record label owned by Ben Tanner, Will Trapp, and John Paul White of the Civil Wars. Immediately, Half the City received critical acclaim from many national journalistic outlets including Paste Magazine, Garden and Gun, Southern Living, Rolling Stone, and NPR. In its first week of sales, Half the City reached number 62 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 7 on iTunes charts. After major stories by NPR Morning Edition and a national television debut on CBS This Morning, Saturday, St. Paul and the Broken Bones' debut album reached number 3 on iTunes Top Albums charts and number 56 on Billboard 200 charts. St. Paul and the Broken Bones currently is touring North America and Europe on their Half the City tour. Discography: albums, Half the City, EPs, Greetings from St. Paul and the Broken Bones, Street Paul and the Broken Bones, Live and In Person. References. External links: official site Street Paul and the Broken Bones on Facebook.